What's up, YouTube? Today on our live stream, we're going to talk about how you can get rich with pocket listings, how you can get rich wholesaling pocket listings. Today, we're going to have a special guest appearance from nobody else than Captain Coffee. He is one of the managing partners at RFP Homes, and he today sold a huge assignment fee. I mean, life changing money was made today, and it just so happened to be a pocket listing. So I'll let him talk about that a little bit later on in this live stream. But everybody here, there's different ways you can wholesale. You can do acquisitions, right? You could be doing direct to seller, cold calling, mailers, right? Snail mail. You could be texting. I've gotten some deals just texting. It works great. You can go knock some doors. That's another way. You could be using AI, leveraging AI, but these are all direct to seller methods. Or you can just reach out to realtors. And most of you are like, yeah, we reach out to realtors all the time when you're calling on market deals, right? I know Kylie's getting a lot of on market deals. Her husband's Chris is jumping in and getting on market deals. A lot of you are sending me on market deals, and that's great. But I'll be honest, there's 1,000 other people like just like you who are competing for those same on market deals. You have a very low chance of success. But what you have that nobody else has is the follow up. So if you follow up with that realtor and you're like, hey, I know this deal may not work. We're probably going to be coming in too low. Do you have any other deals that are coming up soon? No way. Am I muted? What? You are muted if you want to talk? Oh, Kylie, that's not me. My bad. Okay, we're all good. Anyways,
We can
so
we can
okay,
hear we can hear you loud and clear.
my bad. Kylie said we're muted. That was somebody else. We're all good. Kylie, keep doing your managerial duties. Anyways, so I lost my train of thought, but we're good. So you have the follow up, and you're like, hey, I know this deal may not work, but maybe the next one's going to work. Or maybe the next one, maybe the next one. That's your secret. You keep following up with the realtors, and eventually they're going to want to send you deals before they list them on MLS. And that is a pocket listing. So that is the subject of today's conversation is pocket listings. So everyone here, I'm going to ask you a question. And if you are too scared to talk, totally cool. Do you understand what a pocket listing is? Do you want me to go into a little bit more detail? And I will, because you may not know this, but NAR, the National Association of Realtors, pocket listings are actually illegal. We'll talk about that in a sec. But go into detail. So, what did not make sense? Like, what do you think a pocket listing is? I'm going to call on you right now. Like, what are you trying to understand about pocket listings?
So they're pretty much just off market deals. Is that like, with a realtor?
Nailed it. That's it. So some people have some different understandings of that, but that's pretty much what it is. It's a realtor is going to send you a deal before they list it on MLS or before they show it to the mass world. And there's different types of pocket listings depending on the type of real estate you're looking at. We are looking at distressed fixer-upper homes because we are trying to wholesale, or we're trying to buy cheap because we're investors. We're trying to do fix and flips, fix and holds. We're buying distressed homes. There's a whole nother world of pocket listings, which we're going to talk about, that are illegal. And that is what I'm going to quickly mention right now. But the gist of it is a realtor has a deal because realtors have deals all the time, right? But instead of just going on MLS, which is a multiple listing service, and that would then feed it to Zillow or Redfin or all the other places like realtor.com, they just start calling, texting, and being like, hey, yo, you're one of my really good buyers. I have this deal. Are you interested? And that's it. And how would you get those deals? It's because of one word, one key word, everybody. And this is what we're going to practice today. I know it sounds goofy. We're going to practice friendship. That's all it is. It's just friendship. Today, one of our acquisition agents just got a huge deal. Huge deal. I'm talking like life-changing money because she was friends with the realtor. She built a friendship, professional friendship. And that's all it takes. So real quick, I want to talk to you about real quick. I want to talk to you about how pocket listings can be illegal. So something I need to work on, so is that for my editor, because he will kill me if I don't do this, is write down the moments we're going to clip. So I'm going to write this into the chat. Don't mind me. So we're going to clip around 5:40. So pocket listings, per the National Association of Realtors, are illegal. In 2020, the National Association of Realtors ruled that realtors are not allowed to advertise pocket listings. If they get a deal within 24 hours, they must list it on MLS. Now, not all the realtors follow this because what National Association of Realtors was trying to prevent is not the pocket listing you're thinking of. And it's actually a new occurrence to me. High end homes, especially here in like Texas, I'm talking 3 million, 5 million, $10 million. When you sell a house and you rebuy it or someone else buys it, your taxes get assessed much, much higher. So maybe your house was assessed per the government at $1 million, but now the new buyer buys the home for 5 million or 10 million, and now they're paying taxes on a $5 or $10 million home. So what smart rich people started to do was be like, hey, realtor, find me a buyer and let's sell this deal off market. Or, hey, realtor, I'm a buyer, but I want an off market deal. I want a pocket listing so that when I buy this property, the taxes don't get assessed higher. And that's what NAR stepped in, was like, hey, no, we're not doing this. So that is the focus when people are saying that pocket listings are legal, this and that. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving you, legal advice, but that's usually what they're talking about. The distressed cash fixer upper, that's not really the focus. So that's just a fun fact that I learned. So when you're calling realtors, sometimes you may say, "Hey, do you have any pocket listings?" And some realtors would be like, "Oh, no, I don't do that." But then what you explain to them, you're like, "Hey, yo, do you have any properties, distressed homes that are going to come on the market soon? I'd love to make a cash offer." That's another way of pitching it. So that's that. That was a fun little tidbit I learned. But the pocket listing, just your typical distressed cash home, those are widely available. And there is a huge reason why realtors actually want to sell those off market before listing them on MLS. And we can get into that in a second. Does that make sense? That was a fun fact that I learned. So there you go. So okay, cool. It does make sense. Awesome. Captain Coffee is typing right now. But I'd say pocket listings are common with super high end homes or celebrity high profile sellers. Exactly. So another reason for that was not just the taxes. Imagine you are a celebrity. You're Justin Bieber and you want to sell your house. Well, you don't want to advertise your house on MLS, so now all your fans are coming by your house and annoying you, right? It's actually a safety concern. So that's how pocket listings became really popular, for privacy reasons and also to avoid high taxes. So it still happens. It's just frowned upon by NAR and they can find realtors. But it really is not a big deal, in my opinion. Again, seek legal advice with lower end cash homes. It was really the focus, and the ruling was for high end homes for taxes and for privacy reasons. But anyways, there's a lot of money to be made with pocket listings. So our goal as wholesalers or investors is to establish really good relationships with realtors so that before they list a house on MLS, they say, "Hey, Max, I got this distressed house. I know that fix your buy box, right? You're looking for cash, or all cash deals, fix your upper homes, ugly framers here in South Dallas, right? 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 800 square feet, right? That's something you want? Absolutely. I'd love that." And they're like, "Well, how much would you pay for it?" I comp it. I sent it to them. They're like, "Yeah, that works for us." Done. And that was before anybody else saw it. That's the goal with a pocket listing. And today, I'm going to teach you guys how to get those. And it's pretty brain dead simple. Perfect. Now, Kylie, you've gotten how many pocket listings?
I have not got any pocket listings, unfortunately.
I I thought that your on market deal turned into two pocket listings. My that not
No, 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 they got listed
okay.
online, unfortunately. So mine were not pocket listed.
So did he send them to you and then list them online, or were
Mm,
they already listed?
are we talking about the rental portfolio?
Yes.
No, I reached out about a property that already closed, and then he told me about other properties that he had just listed,
Okay, okay,
unfortunately.
okay. So almost a pocket listing. You're almost there.
Oh,
So
stop.
oftentimes these realtors are gonna list a property anyways, and that's what they're supposed to do per law. So the whole goal is to just get early, and even if it's, even if they list it and you just get it's okay, right? But the goal is to get there as early as possible. And who are they going to send to first? their best friend. And once the beauty of how this works is brain dead simple, man. This is going to become brain dead simple. The beauty of this is once you get one successful deal closed from a realtor through a pocket listing, they're never going to send it to anybody else. You are their number one client for the rest of eternity. So this deal that we closed today, this realtor, the next time she gets a fixer upper, he's going to send it to us because we sold it within 3 days. We're going to close within 7 days or maybe 14. I don't know our timeline. And yeah, she loves us. And let me get into how we get pocket listings. I got so many tips for you guys. And now let's get into the meat and potatoes, which sounds so good right now. I'm so hungry of this video. So if we hop over to lists, we see that there is a list here of 1,000 realtors' phone numbers in Texas. Now, I pulled this list for you guys, and you guys can call these realtors and start to build friendships with them. If you guys need more numbers, tell me. I'll give you guys more numbers. But there are tens and tens of thousands of realtors in Texas, and there is probably tens of thousands of realtors in your state. So you don't just have to do Texas. So this is where you would start. You can text them or call them. Now, if this is not a list for you, well, it's pretty simple. You can go to any house and then go and call the realtor, right? And we're going to do a few of these and I'm going to show you how I talk to them. Now, you can call about a property that fits your buy box. That's a lot of what we do. So let's say this property, which we've called in the past, this property fits a property that our fund is buying, we're trying to buy. So I'll call up this realtor and be like, hey, I'm interested in this property. I know it's pending. I know it's already sold. Is there any chance it's going to fall out of escrow? He's like, nah, we're really confident in this one. I said, that sounds good. I know this is probably not the deal for us, but do you have any other deals similar to this currently on the market? And he may say yes or no. You say, that's okay. Yes, cool. Please send them to me. I'm an interested cash buyer. Or if he says no, then what we would say is, that's awesome. Can I please send you over my buy box, everything I'm looking for? I am your best cash buyer. I will buy a house within 3 days. If I don't fall out of escrow, we'll close within 14. And, I just want to be your best buyer. And and if you then follow up with him and follow up with him and build a friendship with him, ask him about how his wife's baking was the other day, or ask him how fast his car drives, whatever he's passionate about, then he's going to start to send you deals. So the point of where I was trying to go with that is you can start to use lists that you can generate, or just call on market properties that fit your buy box, talk to the realtor, and then ask them about other deals. Not specifically this deal, just use that as an icebreaker. Now, I'll teach you what to say in this video, and then I'll teach you how to organize your pocket listings. Some of you may want to use a fancy CRM, but if you don't want to and you don't want to spend any money, this works perfectly. That's what we're going to cover today. And I'm also going to tell you a few little secrets you can say to the realtor so that they want to send you deals and not anybody else. Now, what questions can I answer for y'all? And do you have any specific properties you want me to call? And I think probably Captain Coffee is going to make a nice warm intro here in a little bit so we can get rolling until then. If you have any properties that you want me to call or any realtors that you want me to call, put it in the chat. If you have any questions, let me know before we start ripping on how to get these pocket listings. Easy. Okay. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I mean, you can spend so much money and so much time, pulling lists and cold calling, door knocking, doing all that. And that is super effective. You're going to get some big assignment fees if you can land those deals. And some of you are going to absolutely prefer dealing with sellers. Someone like Pace Morby, he doesn't like realtors. He doesn't connect with them so well. He really connects with sellers. He understands their struggle and their story. But other people in here just are better at becoming friends with realtors, and you will learn your skill set. Someone like Kylie, she is perfectly fit for pocket listings, but she's still a little scared about talking to sellers. And that's okay. Everybody has their place. I was talking to my friend Zach yesterday, and he was like, pocket listings suck. I don't want to talk to realtors. I don't like so many people involved in a deal. I want me and the seller. I don't want the agent involved. So some of you, this is not going to be the right strategy for, but others, this is going to be the only way you're going to make money for wholesaling, and that's okay. But the reason why pocket listings is so cool is that one, it takes a lot of time. So it's like, wait, why is that cool? Well, it takes time. It takes time. But once it hits and once you build your book of business, the money is just almost passive income. You're going to be sitting on the beach and people are going to call you. These realtors are going to call you, be like, hey, best friend, I just got a deal. Can I send it over? And you're like, heck yeah, send it over. Right. So it's so much work at first, but then you build up your book of business. Cool. All right. Enough talking about how we do it. Let's actually just do it. So the first thing we're going to do is call some properties. You guys don't have any preference on what properties we call? Then I am just going to use what you guys would use. I'm not going to use any fancy MLS software right now. Let's just go to realtor.com. Let's look at properties here in Dallas, Texas, and let's call up some realtors. And you sort of see what I say to realtors. Now, your script is going to be different than mine because you most likely don't own a fund and you may or may not be a realtor. So, you need to be, in my opinion, you should always be honest. You shouldn't lie to these realtors because you're trying to be their friends. And you should just be, tell them transparently what you're looking for. Are you an investor? Are you a wholesaler? Do you find deals for other people? That's totally cool. Just tell them what you look for. So, this little house could be a good fit. You don't want to call. So here's the first thing. It's not really worth your time calling a property like, I don't know, let's find one. Well, that one's actually a foreclosure, so that could be good. But okay, so each realtor you'll learn has their own demographic or their own segment, that market that they work in. A lot of them are usually just retail. A lot of them only sell for new home builders. A lot of them do investors, and you want to focus on the one with investors. You want them to be investor friendly, just like how again Pace Morey always says, work with an investor friendly title company. Try to find investor friendly realtors. And sure, you can just call down a list and you can talk to them. You can ask them, hey, do you work with investors? Do you sell retail homes? What's your sell box? And you can see here I have a sell box, and I'll explain what that is in a second. So calling these types of properties is probably not going to yield you good pocket listings unless this person also does tear downs for new homes. But usually, these aren't going to be the ones you want to call. You're going to want to call the ugly homes because those realtors probably get multiple ugly homes a year. Those are the ones we're looking for. Let's try to find an ugly house here. And I think Kylie put a lead in there, so we will call that. Like, to me, calling this property is not. It's not like it's a waste of time, but most likely this realtor doesn't sell ugly homes. If you're selling a $1.4 million beautiful fixed up home, it's probably not worth her time to be selling a $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 home where she's only going to make 10 grand instead of 40 grand. So again, it's a different class of realtor that we're trying to work with. We want to find them super investor friendly. I'm having a tough time right now finding a home that's a bit damaged. Whatever, I'll just call this one. All right, this thing looks junked. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, somewhere here in Texas. Let's see where it is. I need Skylar on these calls so he does some talking. Yo. Okay, here it is. So it's down near Oak Cliff. This area would have been, I don't know, when I moved here to Texas about 8 years ago, I would have left looking like Swiss cheese. Now it's starting to become a lot nicer of a neighborhood, but it's still a little rough. I think it's in the process of being gentrified. So it's a pretty hot market. And you can still tell from the bars and the windows. This property. All right, guys, let's have some fun here. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. 1,300 square feet. What do we think rehab is on it? Is there any listing description? No listing description? All right, I'm going to take bids in the chat. What do we think rehab is? This is your beautiful kitchen. New LVT floors in the living rooms. Okay. A little beat up. So brand new kitchen entirely. But they put new floors in. Probably foundation issues. Budget a good 10K for foundation. It's a nice brick home. That's what we look for. We prefer brick homes over frame homes. All right, there's your home, guys. Do we have any bids? Let's see the bids rolling in the chat. All right, guys, I'm waiting for you. Bids coming in. Bids. You guys are my contractors. I need bids. Yeah, I'll call a couple on-market realtors in a second. Square footage, Gary, was 1,300 square feet. What do you guys think the rehab's going to be? Is it just a ballpark guess, just for fun? And let's call the realtor on this one. So realtor's phone number, guys, scroll all the way down when you're on realtor.com. It's somewhere here. Hold on. There it is. Jeffrey McKee. And here is Jeffrey's phone number. So that's how you get that, if you're ever wondering. Now we whip out Google Voice. Yeah, you guys let me know if the calling works today, because sometimes it's not working. Let's call.
Realtors also don't love answering their phones.
Yes, nailed that, Ryan. 45,000, Gary. Not a bad estimate. Maybe a little high, but I also don't know how badly damaged this house is. Can y'all hear the ringing?
Hi, you've reached Jeff with the McKee Realty team, powered by eXp Realty. Sorry, I missed your call. Please leave your name and number, and I'll give you a call right back. Thanks in advance, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. My name is Max Deer. I'm a realtor here in Dallas, and I also own a fund, and we're looking to buy some properties. And I stumbled across your listing at 2817 Dudden. I think that's how you say that, drive in Dallas. Looks like a perfect fix and hold for our fund. Just wanted to see if we could talk to you a little bit about it and see if, maybe we can work on the price a little bit. So just wanted to see if we can work this deal. And if not, would love to give you my buy box so that you could send me over any future deals you have. We're cash buyers. We'll become your best buyers and your best friends. So we'd love to, talk to you more about that. Thank you so much. Bye. So was that a perfect voicemail? No, I messed up like 2-3 times, but it's okay. We're all just humans. If it sounds perfect, then you're AI, and that's weird, right? So you just get on the phones and just start talking. So if I were you guys, what would I say? Depends if you're an investor or if you're just purely trying to wholesale. You could say, hey, I work with some really good buyers in the area. I can send you over the properties we're looking for. Would love for you to send me over deals when you can. But you can see pretty much what I did there is that this deal is your icebreaker, right? And then you go into saying, hey, can you send me over any deals? Now, what would I do? Once I get on the phone with him, I'll be like, oh, thank you so much. We'll put his information into the template that I'll show you guys, and then follow-ups. Follow up. It's all about following up. And then what you want to do is you want to learn little things about them. You want to get the realtor to talk. So if Jeffrey here, let's open up Jeffrey. Hey, you want to stalk their Facebook? It doesn't matter. It's fine. So Jeff is an engineer by trade. There you go. We just learned a really cool thing about Jeff. So if I got on the phone with Jeff, I'd be like, hey man, so you're an engineer by trade. Why did you get into real estate? That's so awesome. And it's like, man, where'd you go to college for engineering? Dude, whoa. Did engineering run in your family? Right. You become their friend. And then the next week I talk to him, I'm like, hey, it's my boy Jeff, my real estate engineer. How's it going, Jeff? You want to learn something specific about these realtors, and then you want to keep growing that friendship. And then you follow up with them 7 to 12 times, and by that time, you'll have a pocket listing. Okay, cool. So when it came to square footage and what I think rehab is, I don't know. It's probably somewhere between like 30 on the low end if it's really not bad to, yeah, you could be right. It could be up to 45, Gary. So I think you nailed your numbers on that. It's tough to say, but I think you did very well there. Wait, we can here. So Kylie has one deal. Let's call them. And once somebody answers, I'm going to fill out the template for you guys, and then I'll show you how it all works. So here's our pocket listing template. You guys all have a copy of this, and you can keep adding to it.
Max, can I chime in on that? I know we're talking about following up and communication real quick on like these
All the
realtors.
time.
So
Go for it.
I would recommend too, and this is what I do when I do send in offers. And everyone, Captain Coffee, Ryan Romo, I'm a licensed agent, so I send offers as an acquisition agent all day, every day. So my cadence when I offer, I send the offer in, I call them. Like I said earlier, agents have a penchant of not answering their phone. They're well known for that. From there, I also send a text. I have my template to text. Go, hey, this is Ryan Romo. Just gave you a phone call, left a message. I've sent an offer on 123 Main Street, and then I also follow up with an email. So I hit them the 3 to 4 different communication methods, and typically they're bound to answer one. So just make sure that you are hitting them from different communication channels, because a lot of times things will slip through the cracks. Like not everyone checks their texts all day, not everyone answers their phones all day. So hit them from different angles when you are trying to reach out to them. That's a lot of people just stop at the phone call, and you're not going to find success that way. You really have to hit them from all angles. Hopefully that helps.
No, that was awesome. So Ryan, ask a question on that. So you said you submit an offer on pretty much a ton of deals every single day? Are you writing up a full contract and then sending that over? Or what do you mean by you're submitting an offer?
I do it a little differently. I don't write up an offer because I mean, there's some months where I'm sending 120 offers per month. Those are my kind of KPIs to find success on the MLS. I have just a simple template which I can share to you or give to you, and you can share to the community here, which just has simple terms like purchase price, backside commission, earnest money, option money, my title company. I look at it like an LOI. Not all realtors love it because they do like seeing full written contracts. But I also come from the world of commercial real estate, and everything starts with a LOI, which is a letter of intent. From there, at least get the ball rolling, and it's a lot quicker. I can send out 20 offers after speed comping in about an hour if I'm doing everything fast. And then from there, that's really just to a lot of times I know the deal isn't going to work, but I'm just getting an offer in their hand. Then I'm calling them, I'm texting them, and I'm following up. And that's my cadence. And really, it's to build a relationship because a lot of times we're not going to win all these offers. But like Max is saying, you're starting to build that relationship. And then from there, if you're doing your job right, I'm putting them in the calculator. If I have a really good call with these realtors and I tell them what we do, how we buy, it's not just a one and done. I set a follow up in my calendar. Very easy. Everyone on their iPhones can set up. Call Susie at EXP, and you can do that weekly, and it'll send you weekly reminders at 5 p.m. to follow up with them. And you start stacking that, you're going to have a massive compound effect, and that's how you build your book. And you do that consistently and intently for 6 months. The job becomes a lot easier. But not everyone's willing to put in that work. It's really boring work. It's really easy work, and boring. But it's the consistency of the boring stuff that gets you hitting like the deals. I think we're going to talk about in a little bit, like the big fee we hit. That came from those actions that I just described.
Guys, I love this. This is the goal, is to get to somewhere where like Ryan
If that
is.
helps.
Yeah, that helps so much. I mean, the fact that you can write 10, 20 offers in like an hour is absolutely insane, because you'll get so good, guys, once you choose a neighborhood. And if you want to choose Dallas and work with us, we'd love to work with you. But if you want to do your home market, that's fine. But once you just stick with an area, whether that's a big neighborhood or a small city, long enough, you will become the master of your market, where you can be like Ryan. You can see a property in 2 minutes, comp it, spend 1 minute writing up an offer and shooting it over to a realtor. That presents itself so much better than just a call or a text, right? And you can get really fast with it. And that's crazy. I mean, you saw Ryan, he said 120 offers a month to get a deal, right? Did I understand that correct? I think he's going to mute himself. Anyways, I know he's coming. Go for
Sorry.
it.
Sorry. Yeah. If obviously, Max, we have the company, and we're doing management type roles. But when I was in my full heyday, full acquisitions or dispositions, I would shoot for 100 offers minimum per month.
Wow.
to get about 5 deals.
Okay, for 5 deals.
And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. Yeah, I mean, but that again, you do that, like I said, consistently for 6 months to a year. I mean, you look back and you're like, okay, I actually have my book now, and I call it mailbox money. And then you convert a few, and then it takes a while, but I mean, that's what it takes to be successful in this industry. And that's I worked at a bigger company before we started this, almost 2 years ago. That was consistent with the top performers at our large company. They were putting in about 90 to 120 offers per month. Those were the top performers from what I saw.
There you go, guys. So a few different strategies there. I mean, you can let's think about this real simply. So take away writing an offer. If you just call 10 realtors a day, and they could be from a list I give you, or they can just be properties that are literally just like this. You call 10 of them a day. That means in a week, you're calling 70. In a month, you're calling 280. In a year, you're calling over 3,000 realtors. You're going to build a relationship with at least 10% of them, right? So, I mean, now you have 300 realtor relations, and you can just keep on building your book of business. And then if you can be like Ryan and actually write an offer on most of those properties, even if you're not going to get it, just write an offer. When you write an offer, a realtor now knows that this relationship's an actual serious relationship. You're not just calling them like every other wholesaler and wasting their time. You're calling just like Ryan. Look at the beautiful template he gave us. He said, "Hey, this is our price. This is our option period. This is our earnest money. You know, closing. You the realtor get 3% commission or 6. Let's talk about that in a second. That's how you're going to get them to love you. Our close date. Uh, we say your title company. You say, hey, we're not going to do any repairs or as is, so the seller doesn't have to do any repairs. We'll pay all closing costs. Like when you write this out, the realtor's like, oh shoot, I am working with a serious player here. I'm not just working with every other wholesaler that calls them. Guys, the good properties. This property, I assure you, well, I don't know if it's good or not. We haven't looked at the numbers. This guy's probably, if it was a good property, had been called by 30 wholesalers today. And yesterday he got called by another 30 wholesalers. And he probably got offers from 30 to 50 wholesalers. How are you going to stand out is when you write this. You write that out. Or you actually write up a very simple offer and you send it to them. And then you follow up with them and you become their friend. That's the extra steps that people don't do. Gary, what do you mean by what is option? Like what is an option period? That's a great question. Is that what you're asking right here? It says option. Okay, awesome, guys. So when you're buying a house, let's take a step back. Honestly, wait, Gary, you know what I got to do? I got to mark the time. There we go. We're going to clip this for YouTube. Okay, so when you're buying a house, how do you buy a house? Let's just say there's a house, whether you're buying it creative or you're buying it cash. You have a house. We're going to choose a house here at random. You ready? Gary, what house do you like? Gary, could you see yourself living in this house? I could see you living in this house, Gary. You moved here from South Africa. You could come and live in this beautiful house. But if you want to move into this beautiful house, and I don't care whether you're buying this subject to seller finance, cash, novation, you're buying this house, you need to open up escrow. Right? You're going to open up escrow. And during that time, you're going to choose a few days, an option period is what we call it, a due diligence period, where you'll be able to go and inspect the house. Other people call it an inspection period. And you'll see if you like the house or not. Maybe something's wrong with it. Maybe the seller was lying to you about some things. Maybe the pictures didn't do it justice, right? That's a time where you're able to look at a house, and if you don't like it, you back out. So if you made an offer on this beautiful house for $825,000, you would then in your contract say, hey, I need a 3-day option period, a 5-day option period, a 7-day option period, a 10-day option period, a 21-day option period. And during that time, you can back out for any reason. Because why is this important? You put something called earnest money deposit down. So in this example that Ryan gave, he said, hey, we're going to put 1,800 EMD down. You're usually putting somewhere from like 0.5% to 1%. So in this deal, you may put $4,000 or $8,000 of earnest money. And that's just showing, hey, I'm interested in this deal. I'm serious. And if I back out after my option period, after those 3, 5, 7, 10, 15, 21 days, I lose that money. But if I back out anytime within the option period, I get to keep my money. So that's why option period is so important. It takes a property off market. It takes it pending, like that last property. It takes it pending for a few days. And now other people, can't get the deal, right? So why is it so important to get an option period? Well, that is your time that you're wholesaling. You don't want to wholesale after those 3, 5, 10, 21 days because now you could lose your earnest money. But if you wholesale within those days, you can back out for any reason. So that's why we need a minimum of 3 days for cash deals, and for creative deals, you probably want a little bit more because it's harder to locate a buyer, but we want a minimum 3 days. We would prefer 5 to find a buyer. We usually find our buyers within 24 hours. And then you want your close time to be at least 2 weeks for cash or probably a month for creative. So hopefully that was helpful, but option periods are super important. That's for wholesalers when we're allowed to wholesale and market a deal and make our money. But what is exciting is if you can come in and be like, we only want a 3-day option. That's a pretty good pitch to a realtor. Yes, it's much harder selling creative deals than cash deals. There is 10 times as many cash investors out there. Surprising, because I'm a creative investor. I don't want to spend, my hard-earned fake cash money right here buying houses. I'd rather, buy 10 houses creative, but there's still 10 times as many cash investors. It's harder to sell a seller on creative. It's harder to close creative. I know people are going to argue with me like, no, it's so easy to close a sub two or sell a finance deal. Yeah, it's pretty easy, but it's still a lot easier to close a cash deal. Cash is just easier all the way around. And it makes more money, wholesaling cash. Investing creative is the best, in my opinion, if you want to be an investor. But if you're a wholesaler, I'd focus on cash. So that was a little side tangent. I'm going to mark the time here about option money, but that's such a great question. Option period, due diligence period, inspection period. Great question. And earnest money deposit as well. So let's talk more about how we're going to get these pocket listings. I think you guys are already getting some good tips. So let's call a few more properties and try to talk to them and lock them up. So I know Kylie sent a property, but she said the agent is Corey. Let's check out this property. If you guys have any properties you want me to call, let me know. By the end of this video, you guys are gonna have all the keys that you'll need to get pocket listings. And then Ryan needs to jump in a little bit and tell you about our freaking huge win that we locked in today. And I mentioned it on the last stream. Okay, I know I'm going on a tangent. I mentioned on the last stream, we got a $75,000 profit deal on a pocket listing. We bought a house for $240,000. I showed you the property. It was the Circle View property in Rowlett. We fixed it up and we sold it. And well, I mean, okay, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it, Ryan. Ryan sold it, but we're still waiting for it to close. But that one should be 75 grand in profit, and that's all because of a pocket listing. So, hey, okay. So let's call this property. Then I'm going to pass over to Ryan to
yeah, that one was a legit pocket listing.
Yeah, that's such an insane deal. And Ryan, I'm going to ask you, like, why would a realtor or why would a seller not want to put their house on MLS? I mean, can't they make more money if they just put it out on MLS? If you're a seller, why would you do that? If you're a realtor, why would you do that? Don't you want more money? Don't you want more commission?
I mean, so are you talking about the seller or the realtor? I mean, if I'm a seller, a lot of times people just don't want people in their house. There's many reasons jump inside a seller's head, but I would say the biggest one is they just don't want they don't want the showings. They don't want people in their homes. They're germaphobes. They want a streamlined process, and it's groups like ours that can provide that service where, hey, we're the easy button. We close quick. We close cash. And a lot of times, even if the numbers work, we don't even need to see the house. We buy sight unseen all the time. Does that answer your question?
Perfect. That answers my question. And so some people will take the potentially less money, and that's potential because you can have your house on market for 30 days, 50 days, 100 days, and then you end up with a lot less money, right? Because now your house has been on market so long and it's not attractive. They just, they take foregoing the possibility of making more money in the future just so they could sell their house now, get their cash, and not have anybody bother them. I mean, it was so sad. Like today, I got Ryan. We'll talk more about the deal, but we went out to this property, and this lady, she lost her husband, and you go in the house, and it's all of their family's, items, and they don't want people in their house messing with their stuff. They needed a lease back. They need time to move. I mean, imagine they have showings and they have people every single day marching through their house, strangers that they don't know. I was out looking at a house in Arkansas for myself, and the sellers were just like, "No, we don't want anyone to come look at our house." I'm like, "How am I supposed to buy it?" They're like, "I don't know, but I got a lot of valuables in here." The guy, weird enough, he was a crystal collector and one of the biggest crystal collectors in America, and he has like millions of dollars of crystals. And I was like, "Well, dude, I need to see the house." And he's like, "Well, I don't really want anyone here." Right. So a lot of sellers will just forego that aggravation just to sell quick. And some people need money now. And there's just a ton of reasons. You call a fund like us, or you call it maybe a serious wholesaler investor like you, and they trust that the house is going to be sold and closed within 14 days, and that your price is, your word, and it's a good number. So yeah, Ryan nailed that one. Let's call this property.
I would say
Yep.
I mean, find out what those pain points are and the motivation. At the end of the day, it's your job to ask good questions and figure out what they need, and you are their solution. It's that simple. So just ask good questions, figure out what the pain points and motivation is, and you can work around it and get creative. Like you said, I mean, we can provide lease backs. We can, do a really quick close. We can work with the sellers. I remember one time, maybe they want to leave maybe they have a ton of junk that they don't want to take with them. Hey, we'll take the house as is. I don't know what, I put sellers up in hotels before. It's just your job to just go above and beyond for these people, and that's how you get, discounted homes. You're solving their problems at the end of the day.
It's the bunnies, guys. I mean, again, I love Pace Warby because he says it so well. It's the bunnies. That one deal, and he always tells the story. That one deal, it wasn't about, a lot of times it's not about the money. It's about the solutions that you can provide for these sellers. Someone's in pre-foreclosure. Can you help them get a hotel? Can you help them with moving costs? Can you just think outside the box and just be a kind person? And Pace's story is that he helped a lady find a home for her bunnies, and that's how he was able to get a house. I mean, that's the stuff y'all got to think about. And then when you're talking to those realtors, you can just have those real conversations with them, because these realtors are going to bring you deals and be like, hey, you're the problem solver, you're the solution solver. How can there you go? How can you solve this? So what about a 94-year-old lady that won't and can't leave? Whoa. Okay. So, Kylie, you can't just message out and not give me some context.
Okay, so I tried this whole off-market thing today.
Wow, congratulations.
And the only person that responded was this older gentleman. Okay. That said that his mother-in-law is living in the house. She pays the taxes, he pays the insurance, and he says I could buy the house, but either she comes with it or I have to wait till she dies. That is his words. Yeah, he said that she really needs to be in a home.
Okay.
But I don't know. I guess the family doesn't want to take care of the poor lady. So I don't really know how to go about this one now.
So they want to sell it, but the lady wants to stay in perpetuity?
Yeah.
That's a tricky one. She's 94?
94. He said that she does have health issues and she probably won't be around long, but
I mean, you could maybe that makes me think of the Hugh Hefner situation. He sold the Playboy Mansion to a buyer, and the only contingency was that he gets to stay in the house until he passes away, which I think was like 2.5 years later, which wound up being a good buy for the guy. But I don't think a single family buyer would. That'd be a really that's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that here in Dallas?
Garland. Yeah, Garland.
Because I've done sales in the past where I structured it like a sale leaseback, where I actually created like a 1.5 year lease in place with almost current market rents, and the buyer, basically just held it as a non-cash flowing asset for a 1.5 years, and then he tore it down in his build and made a lot of money. But it sounds like that wouldn't be the case with this 94-year-old, because if she's still alive in a 1.5 years, kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah.
I don't know, Max. Do you have any ideas for that one?
Yeah, I've been in a similar situation. I was buying a house from a veteran subject to, and the poor guy was having dementia, and he did not want to leave the house. He wanted to spend his final years there. So sometimes, and they always say that when you buy a house sub 2, you should never rent back to the tenant, because there's a lot of complications. But if the poor guy has dementia and it's a sad situation, you try to do your best. So we tried to structure something where it was, I think, a 3-year lease back is what he wanted. A 3 or 5 year lease back is what we did. Now, so in this situation, what would I do with this lady? There's a lot of different avenues. I think the first thing that you need to figure out is, why do they not want her to leave? Is it money, or is it sentimental? Is it, hey, I cannot afford the care homes, because those things are super expensive, right? Can I not afford the $5,000 a month in the care homes? Or is it she just wants to spend her final years here? Do you know which one it was?
Yeah, it's money related. He pays the insurance, she pays the taxes, and she's struggling paying taxes on the place, and he's like, I can't afford to pay the insurance anymore, so I just want the house gone. But she won't leave or can't leave, and they can't put her anywhere.
Okay, so I mean, did you just explain them the finance situation? So, like, how much is the house, for example, and do they have a mortgage on it?
No mortgage,
Okay,
and this is like off market and stuff, so we haven't really ran numbers together yet. Like I have my numbers,
sure.
but
Like a three
we
hundred
haven't
thousand dollar house, maybe, or
like maybe 250,000, like
okay,
ARV.
okay. Um, so okay, obviously, like this is not a deal for a fix and flipper because like you need access to the property, or like a fix and hold investor. You will just need to find some sort of end buyer who is okay with um keeping that. Well, actually, so okay, so let's try to explain this. So okay, what did you say the price was roughly?
I think ARV is going to be around 250, and
And
I
you
think it'd be a good rental, long-term rental.
okay, and it probably needs some work. Okay, so if
Yeah.
they were able to get $150,000 cash, right? And I'm also thinking seller financing is a possibility. I think the question I would ask them is how much money do you need every month for the retirement home for the care, right? That's the first thing I would ask them. And do they have a number in mind? Do they know if they need 4,000, 3,000, 5,000?
I do not.
And then when you explain that to them, you say, hey, how much money do you need? And by the way, now you're not going to have any costs associated with this property. You're selling your home. You're not going to have to pay taxes anymore, which are extremely expensive in Texas. You're not going to have to pay these ridiculous insurance costs, right? You sold your home, and now $150,000 is just going to appear in your bank account tomorrow. Is that enough money for you to pay for, old grandma's retirement for the next few years? Me, it sounds like it, right? Sometimes it's obvious to you and me. You just got to lay things out for them. You're not going to have to deal with this property anymore. You have no more costs associated with it. You're going to have $150,000 cash appear in your bank account tomorrow, or 7 days, 14 days. Is that enough money for her retirement, right? And then if they don't really want the cash, they want money every single month, then you can start to imagine yeah, exactly. Then you can start to imagine a seller finance situation. The only problem with seller finance is I could only imagine a situation where they're probably getting maximum $1,000 a month, which maybe that's enough for their medical care, but it probably isn't. So I would try that, Kylie. Approach it as, hey, we're serious buyers. Our offer is 150 grand cash. We would pay an extra. I can actually, you know what? Our offer is 150 grand cash, but I'm going to give you 155,000, and with that $5,000, I'm going to pay for all the moving costs, and then set up old grandma in a retirement home nearby. You structure it like that, and then I think that should work. And you just remind them that they don't have to pay costs with the property anymore. And Ryan's saying like, hey, what happens if they stop paying taxes? And that's another thing I would say to them is be like, hey, you stop paying those taxes, you stop paying, the insurance, maybe not so much the insurance, you don't have a mortgage, but you stop paying those taxes, like big government's going to come knock on your door and take that property away from you. Then they're going to short sell it and you're going to be out a ton of money. And,
Right.
old grandma's going to be going through so much stress. So that's sort of the pitch on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll
it's just
try
to see
it.
if it works. And I would also, I'd really offer that, hey,
Honestly,
whatever.
I like the.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I kind of like the owner finance approach on this one.
It could
That's,
work.
that,
It could work. Yeah, it could work. I would have to see the numbers, but yeah, a lot of times owner finance could work on this as well.
Definitely not a strong suit for me.
I can help you with that. No worries, I'll help you with that.
Not messed around with that.
Yeah, but that's a great objection, and that's just one where you got to keep asking questions and just be like, okay, it's financial reasons. How can you come in and be like, I want to help you? How can I help you? I have a 94-year-old grandma too. If you do, I don't know if you do. And what we did for her was we did all these things. How can I help? How can I help? How can I help? And when they finally get somebody who calling them and not asking them for favors, but you're doing them favors and you're asking how you can help them, I think you're really going to be able to get this deal, Kylie. That people need a solution solver. It seems like the brother son just doesn't want to deal with old Nana anymore, and old Nana's stuck. So you go solve that, bunny. You make Pace More be proud, and you lock up that deal. So Okay, was there a couple other properties you want to call before I show you guys how we can track the pocket listings, or did you want to talk about the big win today and how we got it?
Yeah, I'll absolutely talk about
All
it,
right.
and then I'm gonna go crush a rotisserie chicken after. So let's get into it. Also, too, I love the theme of this talk. If I were to restart day one, fresh, knowing what I know now, the first thing I would do is build up my book of agents. I would just call 50 agents a day, and then, like we said, the follow-up cadences that I mentioned earlier would be the fastest way to get deals, in my opinion. Not talking about anything on the disposition side, just getting that funnel started would be. I mean, it's the lowest hanging fruit from acquisitions, in my opinion, is calling these agents and building your book that way. So I like the theme of today's talk. In terms of the deal today, where do I start?
Start with Heather.
So Heather, is everyone in the group here familiar of like our setup, our company setup, and how everything works? Well, more or less, we have our sales team, which is composed of our acquisition agents and our disposition agents. So our acquisition agents are, of course, acquiring homes, buying homes, setting up the terms. Like Max mentioned, we had a massive win today, by far the biggest fee we've had all year. So we'll hang up on him. Uh, Heather contracted a property via pocket listing. She put it under contract, I believe. What was the price? Like
420.
420-ish. Yeah, 420-ish. It was a property in North Dallas. Had the potential to be knocked down in new build, around $2 million new builds, or potentially rehabbed and flipped and sold for around 750, maybe 800 fixed up. So our sales team, she packaged up the deal, got it contracted, negotiated the terms, provided a lease back. Like Max mentioned, the seller lost her husband, so they just wanted a really easy solution. So our sales team, their job each and every day is to go find buyers, disclose buyers, get them on their buyers list, send them deals whenever we do get deals to hit our wholesale board. So this one was sent out to our team. I don't really sell anymore, but I knew that I had a lot of buyers that are interested in this particular pocket. So I sent out some emails, made my calls. I got 5 buyers of my own out there to walk the property. We had, I think, roughly 17 or 18 buyers total interested and offers coming in on the property when it was all said and done. So we had an hour to walk the property. We got in there. Our buyers walked it. They then had another hour to come up with their numbers and submit a property offer, which they give to their disposition agent, and our disposition agents then give it to Heather, our acquisition agent. So there were a lot of offers on this one. It was a really active showing. And when Heather announced that the winner in bid was my own, I was very happy. And the total fee actually came out to be $56,000. So as a company, we made 56 G's and off of one deal, which is insane. That's a lot of money. That's a car. That's tuition. So it was a great team effort. Luckily, fortunately, I had the highest bid. It was somebody I was actually the first person I had ever sold a property to. I think maybe 3.5 years ago. I've sold maybe 7 or 8 homes to him. Since we met. First time selling them since we started this company. But yeah, that was more or less the win. 56,000 team effort win today. So those were very common, I'd say, during the bull run. Those aren't so common now. They do happen though, and I would say pocket listing type agent deals provide some of the biggest fees. Probably that, and I would say pre-foreclosure deals make the best fees. But yeah, that's more or less the deal. If anyone has any questions on it, Max or anyone else in the chat.
I'll rip you some questions, and guys, you can jump in and ask some questions. But I mean, off the rip, I mean, how do I do this? I need to get more sounds in here. But huge golf clap to Ryan, also Heather, but Heather's not here, but to Ryan for selling the deal. I mean, insane. A 58K fee is just nuts. And his buyer is going to tear down the home that he just spent $478,000 on, and or $6,000 on.
468.
Yeah, and he's gonna build a $2 million mega mansion, and he's gonna flip it or just sell it. So crazy. That's the lot value. I mean, there's some huge deals that you can have, guys, by just looking at teardown homes and then just looking at the land value. But yeah, Ryan. So how is the realtor, benefiting from this? I mean, wouldn't she have maybe made more money if she was listed on MLS? Just waited a few months.
Well, a lot of times, as acquisition agents, you build that relationship. We incentivize them and encourage them to bring us deals, and a lot of times we will give them, the full 6% or 3% commission. This one's unique because the realtor actually didn't ask for any commission on this one because she's moving into another home. She's going to represent her. She's going to get 3% off that new purchase. And actually we are cutting her a little bit of our fee.
Okay.
So that was pre-negotiated on the front side. But I know a lot of times where, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's buyer side. Acquisition side, we are cutting her some of the, she's taking 3%. Yes. So we are paying her.
Okay, so pretty much, guys, what Ryan was saying is that what you can do to incentivize these realtors is you can be like, hey, you can take the full 6% commission if your sellers go with that. Like, I'm not going to be bringing a realtor. I don't need that 3% commission on my side. So, if you bring me pocket listings and your sellers go with it, take that 6% commission, or, you can give them a portion of your assignment fees too. Right, like we're doing. We hit a big win, we throw money back to realtors who help us out. So there's some different ways that you can incentivize them.
And to preface too, so a lot of times, even though it's on the MLS, they might have a listing agreement, a buyer or selling agent commission agreement on the front end with these sellers. So there might even be, I'm not sure because I didn't contract the home, I'm not sure, but I think that the realtor also might have had just a simple percentage agreement already teed up with the seller. So that'll come out of the seller proceeds.
Sure. Exactly. All right, guys, what questions can we answer on, this huge pocket listing win? I mean, we got a 75K one a little while ago that Ryan's been working on so hard. Today we get a 58K one. All you have to do is land one of these, and it's honestly pretty much life-changing money. And these pocket listings are going to have way more of a margin for you than just an on-market deal. You're calling these on-market deals, you're going to be trying to squeeze 5 or 10K assignment fees. Just like when you're doing creative, you work your ass off for a sub-2 or seller finance wholesale deal, and you'd be lucky to walk away with 10K. But cash pocket listings are insane. And you're not going to get one tomorrow. I'll be honest. You're just not. You're not going to get one next week. Probably not. You're not going to probably get one next month. But in 3 months, you may get 2. In 6 months, you may get 3. In 12 months, you'll have such a big book of business that you'll just be sitting down and these deals are going to be coming to you. And that's what it takes. It's a very, exponential curve, right? You start off slow, you're building your book of business, and then your deals just start rolling in. So can you tell agents this even if you are going to wholesale the pocket listing? So what would your pitch, Ryan, be if you're more of a wholesaler when you're calling these realtors?
The question.
So I think Chris is saying, hey, I'm not an investor. I don't have a fund. So what should my pitch be to these realtors?
Hey, Max, it's Chris. How you doing?
What's up, Chris?
I was pertaining to what you guys were just talking about, the 6%
Oh, sure.
commission to the agent. That's what the question was geared toward.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a little different now with the new NAR ruling about sellers not having to pay the 3% buyer's agent commission. So if this conversation was to be had a few months ago, it would be a different answer. But right now, pretty much, you can talk to the sellers or to the realtor, and they may or may not have a situation where they're going to pay a 3% buyer's agent commission. They are going to be getting paid. They're going to get paid 3%, maybe 2.5%, 2%, but they're most likely going to get paid 3% from the seller. And the seller may have agreed to pay the buyer's agent 3%. Now you as the wholesaler can go in, and if that is the case, be like, hey, if you have a 3% buyer's agent commission that your sellers agree to, I don't want it. We don't need it. I'm not an agent, and I'm not going to be represented by an agent. I'm just an investor. I'm just a dude. So, keep that 6% for yourself. Right? That would be the explanation or the pitch there. That helps a lot.
All right.
That's twice as
Appreciate
much
you.
money for the realtor. You don't think they want to work with the guy who's going to give them twice as much money? Like
So
over
they would keep the 6, and then I just wholesale the deal, and
you
then
just
I just keep
wholesale.
the difference.
You just make your money on the wholesales. You're not a licensed
Right.
agent, so you don't want to be messing with trying to get paid a percentage.
Okay.
Unless you're a licensed agent, then you can have that talk, right? We get deals where we get paid 3% as a buyer's agent, and we wholesale. We double dip, but because we're all
Mhm.
licensed agents. If you're not a licensed agent, do not do that. You're only assigning your contracts. But
And excuse me, and add assigns and or assigns need to be in the contract, right?
yeah, I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to give you. Yes, I think it should be in there. You're much safer, and we also add it to special provisions on the bottom too. We make it very clear in the special provisions section of all contracts that this is an assignable contract. In my
With
opinion,
it,
disclose as much as you can and be honest always, and you'll always be safe.
so would that be in the TREC?
Yeah, in the Trek contract, exactly. Or in those other contracts that maybe I'll give you guys those smaller ones that Ryan's just blasting out. But yeah, I always put and or signs, and I always put in the special provisions that this is an assignable contract. I'm always very honest when I was wholesaling, but it's because I'm just an honest, transparent person, and I think they trust me that they never had a problem with it. I
You'll
think
never get in trouble being honest and transparent, and if you do that over the tenure of your career, it'll serve you better. Wholesale gets a rap because a lot, with a big bulk of the people that do this aren't as transparent and honest, which in the long term I believe shoots people in the foot. So I go about it telling them exactly what we're going to do when I'm on the acquisition side of things. I just lay it out nice and pretty and explain, I've been doing this a while. Like, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's my experience in the past. Here's what I work with. Here's who I am as a person. I just lay it all on the table. And some maybe I've lost a deal or two in the past by being completely honest. But like I said, in the long run, you will find more success doing it that way, in my opinion. And then, and it's kind of funny who you ask about is it a contract assignable? If you were to ask me, I would say all contracts are assignable. But we've had situations where a certain title company makes us get an amendment from the seller claiming that the property is assignable, even though legally, in my opinion, it is assignable. But then there's other title companies that won't say anything, and they'll just business as usual. So depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
But as Max says, you're probably safer. Just go ahead and in the seller name put XYZ LLC and or assigns
Or my name and or assigns.
exactly. Hey Ryan,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah. Right. I have one question for you though. Is can you give me your 30-second elevator pitch that you talk to that you say to real estate investors when you're wholesaling? Like, what is your usual pitch?
It's a buyers or sellers?
To realtors, like, or you're talking to these realtors and you're saying, yeah, sure, we have a fund, we may buy it, but sure, we may wholesale it. Like, what is your wholesale pitch to these realtors, and why do they trust you as a wholesaler and not every other wholesaler?
I'm in a fortunate position. I think we have multiple exit on what we can do with our company. So I basically just call and I ask them about the property. I say, hey, we're interested. We're buyers here in town. I run a wholesale investment brokerage. We buy, we flip, we do buy and holds. We do some wholesale transactions. So as long as the number of okay,
You there? Yeah, we didn't lose you.
yeah. Sorry, we had a rogue avatar. More or less, I mean, I first off ask about the deal, ask some questions, and then I jump into, my name is Brian Romo. I'm a managing partner at RP Homes. Here at RP Homes, we do a lot of wholesale transactions. We do buy and holds. We look for flips. So as long as the numbers pencil, we can make the deal work. We closed on 20 transactions last month. We're always looking for more. We're very active in town, and we do good business. It's more or less like that. Next time, let's do some. I'll do the calls. I need some like inaction juice to get going, but that's more or less what I just say. I just pitch myself. I pitch the company, and I tell them we're looking for investment properties. And if they ask, just real quick, just to try to get some credibility and let it know. And then from there, I got my templates. I follow up. Great talking with you. Make sure to keep keep sending me properties. Let me know about this one. I just talk.
Yeah, and you're not scared. And you're not scared to say the word wholesale, right? Because you're just being transparent. You're being honest, and there's nothing to be scared of.
It's an exit strategy at the end of the day. In fact, it's an extra tool in the tool belt, and good agents wholesale is no secret anymore, and it still gets some negative connotation. But the agents I work with realize how valuable a good wholesaler can be for their book of business. Mm-hmm. A good wholesaler is invaluable, in my opinion, if done the correct way. Professional wholesaling. So I think agents are, especially in a market right now where it's kind of, days the markets are pumping up there, interest rates are hard. It's harder for them to move deals. They're becoming more reliant on professional wholesalers. So I don't think of it as like, oh man, they're not going to like me because I'm a wholesaler. Like, be confident, know that you're providing them a service and you're helping them out. And that's your value to them. So if you can switch that mindset, like they need us more than we need them, it'll really help you out in your pitch. And that would be my advice.
I love that. I think too many people, and I get this messages all day long, they shy away from the fact that they're wholesaling. You will always win by being honest and transparent, and being a wholesaler is nothing to be ashamed of. And a good realtor will actually want a good wholesaler, but you need to be able to explain your value proposition to them. Explain why they want to work, why they should want to work with you as a professional wholesaler. So yeah, I've always disclosed from day one that I was a wholesaler, and it never bit me in the butt. It only did me favors. So I wouldn't lie if I were you guys. No reasons to lie. Yeah, thanks so much, Ryan. I mean, if you want to go smash your rotisserie chicken, it's all good. I'm just going to call some on-market properties. I don't want to keep you too long, man.
No, you're good. This is fun.
Yeah,
I will be back.
Cool. Yeah, jump on in anytime. Well, guys, thank you to Captain Coffee, the man who drinks so much coffee.
This was coffee. This was coffee. We're gonna crush your meatsies. Best place in the bus.
Shout out Eatsies. Well, okay, I'll answer your question, M.
What question we got?
Oh, okay. She said, "Oh no, yeah, thank you, V." What if you are a licensed agent? How do you pitch your intro since you are not letting them get the 6% at that point? Would it make it less motivating for them to work with you? What is a value proposition? No, I wouldn't say so. So I think it's anything. Now you have more credibility to go into these calls because realtors love realtors. There's nothing more than what a realtor loves is another realtor, right? They already feel at home. So I jump on the phone, like, yeah, I'm a licensed realtor. But then you're talking to them, and then I don't think you need to talk much about that 3%. As something I'd bring up later. Like if they bring you a deal, and then the numbers pencil for you, just be like, hey, you know what? I know I'm supposed to get paid a 3% commission on this one. Because I love you so much, I'm willing to drop it to 2% and kick you back 1%. Right? I wouldn't bring that up in the beginning. It's more of a card that wholesalers can bring up because they already have to forego that 3%. So they can bring it up in the beginning. You as a realtor, you can hold that card. And then near the end, if you're trying to get a deal to the finish line, then you can use that as like a negotiation leverage. If it's a tight deal and you're not going to make any money, you could now actually what you can do is you can wholesale a deal. What we've done before, wholesale. So you have a $180,000 house, right? Let's say this house that we still have to call Kylie. Oh, that was actually $180,000. I nailed that. Okay, you have a $177,000 house. Imagine this is a pocket listing. A realtor sent you this deal, M. I have no idea what your real name is, but I'm gonna call you M. That's all I got going here. A realtor sent you this deal. Saying, hey, I got a pocket listing. It's 177,000, and you have a buyer lined up for 177,000. Well, how much money are you gonna make? Zero. But you could then charge the 3% commission. So you can wholesale deals for much less assignment fee and bank off of the 3% commission. So you got the leverage there. It's such an incredible leverage to have. And I actually urge all of you guys, if you're a wholesaler, to become a licensed realtor. Not only, are you playing the game, more to the standards that they want you to play the game at, and you're at a lot higher level of professionalism, you can also make a lot more money. What do you think, Ryan?
100%. I mean, it's just, if you're really planning on, pursuing a career in real estate, you're in it for the long haul. It's just another level of credibility. Because it's really not that hard to get it's just, you went through the process, you took the test, you have that stamp now, and you're going to get that much more respect and credibility when, I'm a realtor, I'm a licensed agent. Oh, cool. All right, join the club. And now let's talk business.
Yeah.
And then instead of trying to figure out that wholesaler pitch and whatnot. And yes, the biggest thing for me is access to the MLS, the best possible data, and two, getting that 3% on an acquisition can be the difference. That could be an extra $10K per deal.
Well, that could be the difference of getting a deal or not getting a deal. You have a $400,000 house. All these wholesalers are going to be coming in at the same price. Let's say the house is trying to sell for $400,000, and all these wholesalers are offering $330,000, right? But you can now offer $340,000 because you know that you're going to get that 3% agent's commission, right? So you can come in above these wholesalers because you're making money on that 3% commission, right? It just depends how you phrase it and how you pitch it. If the seller's already expecting to pay that 3% commission, then you can come in higher on the price. It's all just optics. It's all how you present things. I know Ryan.
And then, like
Ryan
you
does
said,
that all the time. You always double dip.
Well, like you said with the bargaining chip, I'm sending out lots of offers. I'm tracking them. I'm following up, and because a lot of times, I mean, let's be real, these sellers want they want the moon for their house when we all know it's not worth what they're asking. So they're doing price reductions. I'm following up for my original offer because I know that's where it needs to be. That's where fair market value is, at their where their condition of the house is. And then once you've been talking to these agents for 7, 8, 9 times now, and it's been a month, and you're tracking it, they're like, "Wow, this guy's been serious. He's been following up. Hey, Ryan, they're engaging with you now. We're really close on a deal. Like, hey, you're like 5,000 off." And I'm like, "Well, how about this? Let's get this deal done. Let's ink it today. I'll 3%. You give that back to the buyer, or you take it. Whatever makes sense. And let's get this done." They're like, "Okay, that'll get it done." I've gotten so many deals where at the very end they were just like, "You're just a few thousand off." I'm like, "Here, take the 3%, give it to the seller. Let's get the contract and lock it up, and then we get the deal done." So it just, to me, that's probably the biggest benefit at the end there.
Love that. So yeah, that's how you get a deal right past the finish line when you're close. It's like you can either choose to get and I love how Ryan said it. It says, "Hey, realtor," because you're in talks with the realtor. You're not in talks with the seller, right? You always have to go through the realtor first. So you say, "Hey, realtor, you have the choice. You keep that 3%, you give back to the seller, you do whatever you want is fair." Right. And now it's up to the realtor, like, "Oh, I can make more money." Or it's like, "Oh, I can do good to this seller who I really love." And then that's how you get it past the finish line. Love this. So anyways, yes, if you can become a licensed agent, it helps with wholesaling tremendously. And then come work with our company. We're hiring. So if you're local to DFW, come work with us. You can wear tank tops to work.
Who's in this chat is in DFW?
Let's see who's typing in. And then we'll put it out on YouTube and we'll get more views in Facebook too. But I know Kylie and her husband Chris are here. Maybe Hannah's local because that's Kylie's best friend. I know Gary's in South Africa. Now Hannah's local. So I think Simon may be from Texas too. I think we got a few locals here.
How did you know she was my best friend?
I know things.
Mm-hmm.
I love this community. Well, great. Well, then I still need to call a couple on-market properties and show you guys how to use that template before I go out to Cowboys Red River tonight. I'm doing my 2-step in for the week.
What's that?
Have you ever been to Cowboys? You never been to Red River?
I'm a lot of things, but I ain't country.
Man, you need to get out of Highland Park. We got to get you more into the country. Red River is so much fun. It's like a nightclub for country people.
I'll check it out.
Have you never been to
Oh,
Cowboys? Oh my God, today's ladies' night. Bring your girl.
oh,
She gets in free.
I'm I'm trying to get the video to go through of our office to kind of show everyone
Oh,
where we.
sick. Yes, guys. This is a good video. I need to get music and I'm gonna put it on my Facebook. All right, guys, we're watching the video. So here you guys. Oh my God, that was awful. I'll lower that volume. Here you go. Ryan's artwork.
There's me.
There's Ryan. Oh, the handsome man. There's Nick, our
I've gained
CEO.
I've gained 5 pounds
There's
since
Travis.
that day.
There's Ryan's office. Sir Chunky. Dude, it's a carnivore diet. You're getting bulk, getting strong.
No, it's because I went out. I boozed 3 weekends in a row, and that kills my metabolism.
So anyways, yeah, guys, that's our offices in Las Colinas. So if you guys are ever down here in Dallas, come check us out. Well, hey, I'm gonna whip out some calls for a few more, then show you guys how to use that template. But here, I'll show you the template real quick, guys. So you guys can obviously keep track of your pocket listings any way you want. Just like Ryan said, you can add it to your calendar, have it on your iPhone, then follow up. I like spreadsheets. I'm old. I studied finance in school, so spreadsheets are my best friend. And when I didn't have a girlfriend, I had spreadsheets. So here I put the name of the realtor. I put the type of agent. Some are only going to be buyer's agents. Some are going to be listing agents. You obviously want to focus on those listing agents. Now the sell box, just like how we have buy boxes. If you check out, if you go to here to buy box, you'll see our buy box. We want homes with 3 bedrooms and at least 1 bathroom. We want all homes within this ARV, right? We have our own buy box. These realtors will have their own sell box, homes that they typically sell. Just like how you have homes that you typically buy, they have homes that they typically sell. So maybe so you want to put here that, hey, this realtor does a lot of fixer-uppers. And that's really what the key is. You're looking for realtors that do fixer-uppers. So when you're calling these realtors, ask, hey, you know what? How often do you sell a fixer-upper house? I've never sold one. I've only done retail and I've been in the business for 20 years. Probably not a good agent to save, but you can say, hey, agent, do you have any other agents that you know or that you've worked with in the past that do fixer uppers? Guess what these agents get? They get referral agreements. They usually get like 10 or 20% of when they refer a client to somebody. So these agents, if they guys, this is so key. If this agent doesn't sell fixer uppers, they have someone that they know that does. So ask that agent and say, hey, can you please connect me with them? I'm a buyer. I'm buying these homes right and left. So that's what you want to put in there. So that's the sell box. So type in like the type of homes they sell. Markets, what type of markets do they sell in? Keep track of that. Now get obviously their phone number and their email. This is going to be like your main point of contact. And then here, I'm actually going to zoom in. So I'm so sorry, YouTube and everyone, if you guys haven't been able to see. Score. I like to, this is just me personally. I like to score how likely this agent is to give me a deal in the future, or how good of a pocket listing realtor she may be. So, if it's just a retail realtor and she's been in the business for 6 months and she's not very nice at all, I'm going to give her a 0, right? But if she's like, I called this one agent the other time. I don't know if it was on the live stream or not. I think it was. She was like somebody with like a probate attorney or something. So all she did was get gross, like pre-foreclosure homes, 10 on 10 realtor. She's going to be my new best friend. I'm going to send her flowers. I'll send her chocolate. I'll do whatever I can. When you find that 10 on 10 realtor who all they do is ugly, like pre-foreclosure, probate type homes, like pull out all the stops, guys. Figure out something about them. Go stalk their Facebook, see that they're an engineer, and then go figure out where their alma mater is and send them a hat from their alma mater. Like go do whatever you got to do. And then here, this is really important. I put the last contact date. And I want to follow up with these realtors. Like Ryan said, it takes 7 to 12 touches probably to get a deal from these realtors. 7 to 12. So if you think you call these realtors 1, 2, 3 times and you're expecting a pocket listing, you're wrong. I mean, you're wrong. You may get lucky, but the average is going to be a lot closer to 10. So expect to touch base with them 10 times. So here, every week, when I see a week has passed, and look, a week has passed, right? It's been at least like 10 days. I need to call Jane Doe, right? Jane Doe owes a call. So that's more or less how I use that spreadsheet. You guys will have access to it. And then I just keep calling realtors. So every day, Ryan said call 50 realtors. Now, to you, that may not be realistic. Ryan is a madman on the phone, but I think all of you can do 10 calls a day. That's 3,000
All
leads
right,
a year.
Max. Sorry to interrupt, buddy. I am heading out.
See you, dude.
My beautiful
Enjoy.
right there. Hello.
Hello, guys. All right, Ryan left. That's Ryan's fiance. So, anyways, or not yet. Okay, I'm not supposed to say anything. He got the ring, but he didn't propose yet. So I think I'm supposed to stay quiet. But anyways, now you guys know. You guys have some insider scoop. But Ryan posted something here. I have no idea what this is. Oh, these are realtors. There you go. So Ryan's doing the exact same thing. All right. So do y'all have any questions before we whip out a few more calls with these realtors and to try to get some pocket listings generated? Nobody? Okay. I is typing. Why are you guys why don't I have your guys' real name? Is that because I'm in streamer mode? Probably because I'm in streamer mode. I finally figured out how to use this Discord properly. Hope one of them picks up. Yeah, I hope so too. They hate to answer, and they especially hate to answer this late. But you know what? They want to make money. That's what they got to do. So yeah, guys, one thing that you got to realize, and I have a hard time realizing it too, is people call me all day long, and I get annoyed. I'm like, dude, who the hell are you? These people are human. They're no different than us. So when you call them, and at first they may be pissed off, they may be annoyed, they're human, right? It's not that they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to anyone, right? So just, you just got to like de-escalate. You got to be super friendly. And maybe today's not the day. Call them back tomorrow. Say, hey, is this a good time to talk? I totally understand if you just want to spend time with your family at 7 o'clock at night. Can I shoot you a call tomorrow? Right? They're just people. Now, some of them are assholes. A lot of them are assholes. But there's some good ones. So let's call this realtor. We got Cody Martin here. It's a little late. Do we want to know anything about this property, Kylie, before I call it? It's a frame home. When I say frame, guys, no brick. Go ahead, Kylie.
I know everything, but I don't want to tell you anything.
Do you want me just to go in blind?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Guys, I should comp this property. I should do a little bit of research, but all the research I'm going to do is nothing. Let's call this realtor. How does it look like inside? Hey, my name is Max. I'm a realtor, and I was calling about your property at 9920 Husted. I think I said that right.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. You're still working this late?
Yeah, I am. The phone never ends.
I feel that too. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time tonight. One of my analysts sent me over this property. We have a fund, and we're buying homes all over Dallas, and this one just caught my eye. So I wanted to see what the situation was on it.
Yeah, I'm getting these calls, the same spiel all day long for the last 2 weeks.
I get it.
Okay, so your realtors, are you able to look at NLS, look at solar disclosure, all that kind of good stuff on the property?
I can look at everything.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so beyond that, what are you needing from me specifically?
I just wanted to know, I'm going to write up an offer tomorrow and submit it. I just want to know roughly where I should be at or where the seller is at, so I'm just not wasting anyone's time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, I'm working 2 offers currently now. Okay, and they're like an exit or 2 or 3 from the asking price. Okay, so a lot of these people who are wanting to make offers, I mean, I'm telling you, they're calling constantly.
Yeah.
The in funds and investors or whatever are wanting to come in around 120, 130, 140, and that's not gonna get it. Not gonna get it. So. But so it would have to be there. But I have 2 pretty good offers that we're looking at right now. He'll make a decision the next day or so, but that's what I got right now.
Gotcha. And I would assume this is probably more of like a buy, maybe fix up and then hold type play. At least that's what my fund is looking at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not a fix and flip. Absolutely. Well, just want to double check that these offers that are coming in, are they serious players? They're funds with proof of funds.
The ones that are here are from local realtors with people who view the property. Yeah, none of these California that we hadn't seen it. Blah 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 stuff. No, these are bona fide people.
Okay. Well, I have a good idea. I don't want to take too much of your time. I have a good idea of where we would need to come in then to be a serious offer. Now, really, my last question for you would be: is there any other properties that you have, a little bit of fixer-uppers that you have on the market or coming soon?
No, I don't. Not right now.
Okay. Do you happen by chance to have anybody else in your brokerage that does more fixer-uppers?
I mean, I do. I
You
mean,
do.
I do it. I mean, it's just that the fixer uppers always end up when we hit on the market, they're bringing in, pretty good money,
Yeah.
to a regular buyer. So it's kind of a, but no, I don't have anything else for you.
No
Okay.
worries. Well, I'm going to save your contact info. My fund's trying to buy at least 5 homes a month. So hopefully we can do some business together.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Oh, wow. He hung up fast. So that's what I was trying to tell you guys. 7 o'clock. Some of these people want to go to bed. So how did I do going in blind, Kylie? I had no idea what I was supposed to determine there. He probably has offers around 150 is my guess. And he has a ton of players coming in at, what do you say, around 120. He's saying no to them. What do we think that we would need to buy this house for? I thought the 120, 130 mark is probably more accurate. Where is this thing? South Dallas? South Dallas, yeah. Yeah. I thought probably in the back of my mind, like 130. Is there a guest house? Kylie, what did I do? How did I do?
You did good. I did. I was one of them that put in an offer on this place, but fortunately, I have a 971 area code. Apparently, a bunch of people, investors, quote unquote investors, with the same area code reached out, and so I don't think he liked me very much.
Yeah, he was not
that.
the.
So
Was
I'm trying. Yeah, I put in my offer. I emailed him everything, but I have not heard back.
Now, was it above 150 or below 150?
Below 150.
Where did you come in at? Like 125, 130?
I came in at 140, and
Not
we were
bad.
going the rental play. Yeah.
Wow, 140 is a stronger offer than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It
you're going
doesn't
to
need a
rental
whole lot
play.
of work.
No, so you were thinking maybe just spruce it up with like $5,000 or $10,000 of work, and then just rent it, and then do a one. Oh, then you were thinking 1% rule, right?
Yes.
Atta
Yes.
girl. Okay. Okay, Kylie and Chris, you guys are thinking. So what they thought on this play, guys, was, hey, if I can find a house that rents for 1% of the home value. Hold on, guys. There's one thing I need to do here. I need to mark the time. So this is about 7 hours. So now my editor won't hate me. So I have to give my editor a pay increase of 40%. So I need to make sure I cut down on the amount of hours he's working so I don't go broke. So, guys, they were saying, hey, this house, it can rent for $1,500 to $1,700. Let's just say $1,500 to be conservative. So if I can buy this house for $150,000, or I can be in this deal $150,000, that's 1%, right? And if you can find a rental that the rent rate, the monthly rent rate is 1% of the home value or what you're going to be in it cash, that's usually a pretty good deal. Now, obviously, if you're in a really good location, you're not going to get that. Or if you can get that, I don't care what you're doing. This is not financial advice, but please buy that house. Like if you're finding that here, like this is where we just sold that piece of land for like close to $500,000. You're not going to find a house that meets the 1% rule. I live, in an area closer to here, and my house that I'm currently occupying is probably like I'm renting this house, and the rent rates are closer to like $3,000, but the home value is closer to 500,000. Well, if the rent rate was 5,000, that would be a great investment. But it's not, because there's a lot more appreciation and it's a nicer neighborhood. But down in South Dallas, in this area, South Fort Worth, you can try to find homes that are 1% rule homes. And those are usually really good investments. So Kylie, long story short, was trying to make this a really simple deal. She was just like, the house needs 10 grand of work. I can buy it for 140. We're in it 150, and then a guy can rent it for $1,500 a month. That's a good deal. I am very surprised that your offer is not more highly accepted. I think that's a good offer.
Like I said, it was my area code. He didn't like my area code.
Really? I thought, okay, well, if you want, Kylie, I can steal your deal and I can come in for a 140 offer tomorrow.
That would be rude.
He may like me better because I'm a licensed realtor and I won't take his 2% commission. That's another thing. I could say, hey, 140 and you take the 6% commission.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I could come in at like 144. I think I'm doing my math right, or 145, and be like, and I want a 3% commission.
Well, and we were thinking the rents in the area were about $1,600. So I think we were around like 160,000 being the 1%, but I think we were at like 15,000 for renovations because it needs a new roof.
Oh, it does.
The roof has
Okay,
never been replaced.
that does get pricey. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice part is if it's a rental, the tenants don't give a shit whether they have a new roof or not, as long as there's no leaks. So if you can just patch what I do on my properties, I mean, my college kids, they don't care if there's a new roof or not. They're not going to pay me more rent as long as the home is not damaged and leaking. They're good. So I just go in and I just keep patching the roof until one day I actually have to replace it. Right.
But then your insurance is higher, isn't it?
It makes such it's a nominal difference.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yes. I mean, you are right, and I should do it at some point. But, once it gets too bad, but you can make roofs stretch pretty long. So, but anyways, I'm not a slumlord. I promise. It's just some things tenants care about, and some things they don't. A new roof a tenant doesn't care about, but a nice new bathroom vanity a tenant will pay more money for.
100% I would.
That gets exactly. So that gets more into the real estate investing talks, guys. So once we talk more about real estate investing, you guys want to know anything like what should you do to maximize the rents of your property? No, it's not fixing up the foundation or fixing up the roof or putting a brand new HVAC system. It's putting a nice new stove. It's things like that. So you try to make the capital expenditures stretch as long as they can stretch to the point where you're not a slumlord and they're not destroying your property. And then you try to make the cosmetics things upgrade as quickly as possible. New carpets quicker, things like that. So anyways, that was fun. Great job, Kylie, on that one. I think you did very well with your numbers. Probably a little higher than I personally would have gotten. Because then you have to factor in closing costs and things like that. So that would have been higher than I would have gone. So I'm surprised he didn't like you. They usually charm these people.
Yeah, I can charm this one.
Some realtors only like locals, right? They're sort of not in my backyard NIMBYs. They only want to work with people who are local. So that's why sometimes going to the property and seeing the property and talking to the agents in person is really effective. A lot of these agents are old school. So, when we're calling and texting these agents, we take them out to lunch all the time, right? If you take an agent out to lunch and it's a good agent, it's one of those 10 on 10s we were talking about, they're going to want to send you deals because they just got a free lunch from you. Like at least to me, that's super effective. If someone takes me out to lunch and gives me like I love free stuff. Someone gives me like a free hat or something, I'm indebted to them for life. But I get annoyed when people call me. Everyone's different. Some people love when people call them. You sort of need to learn the realtors and learn what they like. That's what Heather did actually. So when I talked to Heather, she's the one that closed or got the $56,000 pocket listing we got today. I asked her, "Hey, what's your secret? I have to know. What is your secret to get this deal?" She just said, "I figure out what they like, and then I change my communication style to how they want to be talked to, and not how I want to talk to them." And she couldn't be more right. She said, "Some people they want you to call them all the time. They're needy, and they're lonely at home." Okay, so she calls them all the freaking time. Some people never want to hear from you. This guy probably never wants to talk to me ever again, but maybe wants to go out to lunch once in a while, right? Just different people have different communication styles that they want to receive. So that's that. Then I would go here and we'd fill out the information. So we'd be like, "Hey, his name was Colin something. I don't know his name. His name was Corey Martin." So we put Corey Martin into the template. He's a listing agent. I didn't really ask that question. I should have asked that. He says he does a lot of fixer uppers. Cool. We could have asked a little bit more clarification. What markets? We didn't ask that. We could just assume that he's Dallas and some other markets based off of where he's listing his property, and that he also only likes locals. So he's probably only doing that South Dallas market or just around there. And put his phone number in there. Put his email. Score for him. I vibe like a 6 on 10. Maybe a 5. See how it works, and then I put the contact date. Hey, this was a 5/9 contact date. That's it. If you want to put the brokerage, you can add the brokerage. If there's any other information you guys can add, feel free to add it. That's the information I use. Yeah. It's not a magic. It's just how much are you going to follow up with these people? And I'm telling you, every single one of these people, they come across sometimes as scary, not friendly. There is a way to make them love you. It's just figuring out the secret combination of words and what they love. Maybe we can stalk. You know what? Really shouldn't be doing this on a live stream, guys, but we're absolutely going to do this. Corey Martin, we're going to stalk you on Facebook right now. Go to Facebook. Can we find him? What brokerage is he with? Do we know? He's with Ultima Real Estate. So
Oh,
worst
yeah,
case, and it's just like, I'm not saying stalk them.
I already
I'm just
did.
saying. Oh, you did. Okay, there you go. You're
Yeah,
doing
I
great.
went on
If you can
Facebook.
if you can figure out that he loves cars, or you can just figure out that one added benefit, that takes you a step further. It's like when you're applying for a job, and you're getting to the job. It's like doing research on the job first, or the person you're going to be interviewing, or they're interviewing you. It's that one extra step. So if I'm going
Being
to submit
personable.
exactly, if I'm going to submit an offer on a property, I'm going to try to know a little bit about the realtor.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. You guys have any more questions about pocket listings? I thought today was pretty good. I like that Ryan showed up. Ryan likes being on camera. You did great. I'm happy you got to meet Ryan. So now y'all have met Captain Vacation Tony. Y'all have met Captain Coffee Ryan, and one day Captain CEO will make an appearance. He's the head boss. You may only see him once in a blue moon. You have time to call another one. You want to call one more? Do you have a property you want me to call in specifically? I have time to whip out one more. And I got to go country dancing. Okay, no property in particular. All right, you guys are going to help me here. Let's well, one, follow me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube, and join my Discord server. But two, let's call one. We'll use realtor.com just like you guys. I'm not going to use fancy MLS. But you can see, like that guy, he was trying to, pin me down in some spots. Have you looked at the property on MLS? Did you go through all the stuff? Yeah, man, I went through everything. I just have a question, so I don't waste your time. Right? I just want to make sure I don't submit a lowball offer. Right? So you can deflect all their jabs. Are we going to call this property this $47 million house? I bet you it's in South Dallas, right? No, I'm kidding. Preston Hollows. This is crazy. When I first moved to Dallas like 8 years ago, Preston Hollows had some few. I've had a few $1 million homes, and now there's $47 million homes in Preston Hollow. It's like, when the hell did that happen? Look at this thing. It has its own
That's
river.
gorgeous.
Yeah. I feel like they're not. I don't know. Seems expensive for this, in my opinion. What the heck is this place? 47 million? We got to close a few more pocket listings if we're going to buy this. Whoa.
Not gonna lie, I probably would renovate some of that.
Yeah, it's a bit outdated for
I like the
47
outside.
million. Yeah.
Not the inside.
I'm thinking more like 15, 20. I'm going to try to wholesale this. I'm going to call the realtor right now. Be like, I'm going to give you a $12 million cash offer.
Do
Wholesale
it.
it for 15. Yeah, these realtors, they won't even let you see the homes. Like, it's such a process with these expensive homes. It has to be it's a helicopter. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. These are the homes that they didn't want you selling for pocket listings. Because that's where that NAR rule really came down on. So, anyways, guys, I'm sorry. Let's go back to our calling our beautiful houses. Unfortunately, we don't have a fun job. We don't get to do $47 million homes. What the heck? How come my tab? Okay, let's try this again. Oh, my bad. I forget how to use a computer sometimes. Here, let's do this. So no properties, no preference on properties, no one dropped a property that they wanted me to call? No. Okay, fine. Leave me blind, guys. Let's call one more. Here, we're gonna go to more. We're gonna go to keyword. Guys, what's one of our favorite keywords? Anyone have a keyword preference? All right, we're gonna try the word fix today. There we go. What a good keyword. Pending. So we could call this one, or we could call this one, or contingent. We can call any of these and be like, hey, I know this property's pending. Can I submit a backup offer? And if they say yes, say wonderful. I'd love to submit a backup offer, or just be like, hey, I want to call this property, or hey, I'm interested in properties like this. If you have any properties in the future like this, please give me a call. Right. So that can be your icebreaker. All of these are pending, except for this one. This one looks way too expensive. $375,000. Where is this? It's a pretty good area. That's a pretty good area. Okay, you want me to call this one? Good, thank you. I want to call one that you guys want me to call. This is the
You're
last
welcome.
call. Last call of the day, guys. I haven't messed up too bad yet on a phone call. I'm happy. But soon I'm going to, and it's going to be so embarrassing. So, guys, you should do some research on a property. You should look at what the property looks like. You should comp it maybe a little bit before calling the realtor. Or you can just call the realtor like me and wing it. Whatever is more fun. I don't have enough adrenaline in my life. So this is my shot of adrenaline every time.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Let's try another one. We can try San Benito. So I have common excuses I use when I call a property, like I think it's probably a word for it. I don't know the right word, but like my way to like meddle into like the conversation. Like here, it'd be like, oh, wow, I really want to know more about the property. Do you have any interior pictures? Right, that's how it gets started with this conversation. Like, yeah, I did a lot of work. I looked through a property, really like it, but you know, no interior pictures. So let's call this one. Where do we go? Here we go. There's common things. Or another one I use is, oh yeah, no, I'm just curious. It looks like such a great investment property. Why has it been on the market so long? So one, don't say the interior picture one if there's interior pictures, because then you'll look dumb. And don't say been on the market so long if it's only been on the market for like less than 30 days. So it says days on market 16, but sometimes you can't believe that. So I go to property history, and here, done. It says it's been listed since 122. So why it says 16 days, I never understood that. Zillow and Realtor.com always lie. Always go into property history, see that it's been listed for 4 months now, and then call them. And now I'm going to use one of those two excuses when I'm on the phone. So that's the way I can BS into conversations. Is I just have similar, similar little hacks I use. Or that.
Either the number you've dialed is not a working.
Hey, you know what? I'm pissed off now. I want to get this property. Let's pull up another phone number. So, anyways, that's a super good tip I use. He's typing something. I'd say, why has the deal been on the market so long? It looks like such a great investment property. Or if I was calling about a nice sub 2 home, I'd be like, oh, what a beautiful home. I'm so curious. Why has it been on the market so long? And then a realtor would be like, I don't know. I'm trying so hard to sell it. Or the stupid seller. That's when they start complaining. The seller is just being so difficult. I'm like, oh, God. Okay, let's listen to this one. Or I'm so interested. There's just no interior pictures. Or if I have all that, sometimes I'm just like, I'm really interested in this home, but just curious, what's the foundation of the property like? Have you walked it? That's a third one I use. That's a good one too. Okay, let's check this property. They don't answer, guys. I'm sorry. Big rip. They don't want to answer this. Oh my God, I hate MLS. I hate MLS. There we go. You got no pictures here. Active. The house is a tear down, fix and flip, or add on. Okay, well, we can only walk the property. Gotcha. Okay. Well, was this the number we called? Let's try one more time.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Max Deer. I'm a realtor, and I was calling about your land play in, I think the location was San Benito. How are you today?
Doing fine.
Oh, wonderful. Sorry to catch you so late, but this property was brought to me by one of my analysts, and we're a fund, and we are looking at just different lot plays. So this house is not salvageable, or you just wouldn't want to try to fix it up.
No, it's a tear down.
It's a tear down for sure. Yeah.
Correct.
Gotcha. How'd you come across this listing?
I know the owner.
Okay, understood. Gotcha. So it's a tear down. Got it. Okay. Well, then that'll help me run my numbers for for the new construction? I mean, I'm sure you've been to the area. I mean, are they building homes right and left in that area, new construction?
Yeah, in Little Forest Hills, they're building new homes, 2-story, all kinds of stuff in
Yeah.
Little Forest Hills.
It's
Very
crazy
hot
how
area.
much they're building. It's crazy. Times are so different. Have you been in Texas a long time?
Born and raised.
Born and raised. So I'm sure it looks a little different than it was.
Oh yes.
How long have you been in the real estate game for?
I'm sorry.
How long have you been in real estate for?
Well, let's see. Past February is 53 years.
Whoa. Have you been a realtor mostly your whole life? You've been doing investing? I mean, you have to tell me more.
No, both. I've been both. I started with Abby Holiday back in '71.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's incredible. Well, yeah, I mean, our fund, we do a little bit of everything. We're really just trying to either get some land deals out in the DFW area, or we just do a lot of fixer uppers, fix and holds. So,
Uh,
I mean,
Are
once
you
you
are you
go
here?
ahead.
Are you here locally?
Yeah, I'm up in the Plano area.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, this is something that it's a tear down
Yep.
that we just sold one on. And well, if you're familiar with the area, we just sold one on Angora,
Okay.
and it's a tear down. This is a tear down, and the owner is disposing of the majority of his investment portfolio because of health and age.
Health and age, understood. Well, that's tough to hear, but at least he has you to help him out. What other properties is he selling? Just curious.
Well, he's got 3 lots on Bel Air, which is over by it's on Easton it's on Lake Highlands between Easton and Northwest Highway.
Okay.
There's a park in that area named Bel Air. It's on Bel Air Street. There are 3 lots that are side by side, which is a small, medium, and large. They were originally built in the 30s for lake cottages for White Rock Lake. They are still rented and they're still on septic tank. So you would need to do a little due diligence of having it replatted to 2 lots and build two nice homes.
Very good.
Right next to one that's been built here just a couple of years ago.
Okay. I'm getting the good insider information right now. That's very awesome. I'll probably follow up with the exact address on text with you, but that's something else I'd like to look at.
It's 10325, 10329, 10333 Bel Air, and they're sold in a package in a bundle, not separately.
Okay, bundle only. Understood. Okay, perfect. I'll look at that one as well. Anything else I should take note of? You have a very good memory too. That's very impressive. I don't know how you're doing this.
No, you stay here long enough, you know all about what you're talking about. No, it's the needs to be replatted for 2 lots, and you have a creek in the back of 10333, which, if you check with the city, will be touching into the floodplain. So they'll probably require some type of retaining wall, but it's a 0.714 of an acre, so you'll get 2 good lots out of that.
Okay. So the all 3 together are 0.714. So we get 2 nice buildable size lots.
That is correct. 0.714.
Okay. Wonderful. Then we'll need a little retaining wall too.
Right. It depends on what the city requires and everything, because it's a deep lot, but you need all 3 of them to make 2 good lots.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. So I got this deal. I'll run with my analyst tomorrow. I'll look at the other properties tomorrow as well. And am I missing anything here? I got my homework set.
Okay, the one on San Benito, the tenant has not moved out yet.
Okay.
They know the property is for sale. There is no sign on it, no pictures, but you can walk the property. They know that people will be walking the property if they're interested. So no problem there at all. But it strictly is a tear down.
Okay. So he's still living there, although it's a tear down.
That is correct.
Okay. Understood. Well, thank you.
You're more than welcome, sir.
That's very kind of you. Well, I don't want to keep you too late, on your Thursday, but I really appreciate it. I'm going to get back to you tomorrow on these 4 different deals.
Okay. Just holler at any time. I'll give you all the information I've got.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful rest of your night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Max.
Let's go.
Those are my land properties that I brought you guys like a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was working with Skylar. We got the contract when we were in office and everything.
So what does that mean? I can't take them?
Well, I guess. I mean, you could try. He won't sign the contracts. Like Skylar tried to get the contracts back from him, and he would never sign them because he always had one teeny tiny picky little thing wrong with the contract or something, and he would never get to signing them. But he agreed on the price and everything.
So you know that realtor?
What?
You know that realtor?
Yes.
And is he your best friend? He's awesome. I love him.
I mean, he was.
Oh, he doesn't like you anymore? Oh, this is good.
Oh, he just hasn't talked to me since he talked to Skylar last.
Oh, I see. You got Skylar involved. That was the problem. You should have got Max involved. Stop sending your deals to Skylar. Send them to Max. Max would have got him closed.
I mean, I love Skylar. He's a little pushy.
Sometimes it's a different approach. He's pushy. I am just everyone's best friend.
Well, I'm gonna have to use you on some of them.
So, anyways, okay, Kylie, let's Kylie, you and me connect tomorrow. Don't tell Skylar. Let's try to work these deals.
Okay, he doesn't watch this, does he?
Oh, no, he doesn't watch it. He's out partying or doing whatever Skylar does.
Oh, because I had these under contract. Like Sam was great. He was good with me wholesaling them. Skylar sent all this document. Like everything was great, and then all of a sudden, last minute, I don't know. He wouldn't sign the documents. I don't know. It was weird.
Okay, so it's not on San Benito though, right? It's on those three. So we're going to work those three tomorrow, and I'll try to make an offer on this one too. Yes, I mean, I should have absolutely asked if he received offers and should have pushed him more on this. But I was trying to focus. I was sort of focused on my dead phone and trying to take notes. So I'll follow up with him tomorrow. But okay, what a small world.
Yeah, I got all the notes for Bel Air if you want them.
Oh, yeah, you got everything. So yeah, you guys can see I went in absolutely blind. I was stumbling. I had no idea what I should have said. I was like, oh my God, what do I say? Like, I have no idea. So I just started asking about him. I was just like, I don't know what more to say. Like, it's a new home construction. I was like, yeah, a ton of new homes around here, right? So different. Because guys, old people love to talk about how different the world was when they were younger. That's what every old person loves, right? So I knew that. So I talked to him. And if you live in Texas, it's so different here. I do that too. I'm like 8 years ago. How many times I do that in this live stream? 8 years ago, this and that. 8 years ago, this and that. We all like to do that. So that's where I started. And then it just took off. And now he's my new best friend. So that's all you guys got to do. Just become everyone's best friend. Just be personable. So I'm happy we ended on that note. How was that? Awesome. That was fun. That was fun.
Super fun.
Super fun. All right, guys. Well, hopefully this was extremely helpful. I'm really happy with how this live stream turned out. And wait, before we go, Captain Soup is going to say bye. So Captain Soup's going to send us off. Say bye, Soup. All right. Bye, everyone. All right. See y'all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.